Sequences, Quiz 3 review. So we have the following. We have f of 1, which is 15. So our first term here is 15. We want to find the second term. So we want to come here and we actually got an n here on the second formula again. So we're going to say f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 times n. So we want to find what f of 2 is. So wherever there's an n, you're going to write that as a 2. So we're going to say f of 2 is equal to 2 minus 1 is 1 times the 2. Now we're going to come down here, we're going to say f of 2, that's what we're looking for, is equal to f of 1. Well, we know that f of 1 right here is 15. So we're going to say 15 times 2. So f of 2 is equal to 15 times 2, which becomes 30. Okay, Muhammad decided to track number of leaves on the tree in his backyard each year. The first year there was 500 leaves. Each year thereafter the number of leaves was 40% more than the year before. So 40% more, and we started with 500 leaves. So anytime we see a decimal, a percent, decimal, fraction, that's always geometric. F of 1, that's what we start with. The first year there was 500 leaves. So that's our first number is 500. This is geometric, so we know this is multiplication. Now here it says 40% more. So we'll say 40%, but since this is 40% more, we have to add this to 100%. So that's going to be 140%. Now as a decimal, we move it 2 places to the left and it becomes 1.40. Now another way of thinking about this, 140% could be based on cent. So that could be you could think of this as 140 pennies. What is the true value of 140 pennies? Well, 140 pennies, the true money value would be $1.40. So that's another way of thinking about, changing this to 1.40. Now remember, the 100% is always always the previous number. The 40% is like the growth to the number. So right here we're going to place in 1.40. So 1.40 there. Okay, right here you have g of 1 is -5, g of 2 is 3, and then we have g of n. Well, in this circumstance we had problems like this before. For us to find g of 3, we're going to actually add the value of g of 1 plus the value of g of 2. So g of 3 is equal to g of 1, which is a -5, g of 2, which is 3. So g of 3 is equal to -5 plus 3, which is a -2. So again, we're going to take the value of g of 1, which we have right here, and g of 2, which we have is right there. So that's where we get the -5 and the 3. We want to add those together, and that gives me a -2. Sun Ying hosted a party. She had 50 party favors to give away. She gave 3 party favors to each of her guests as they arrived. So let's see, let g of n be the number of party favors she had before the end of the guest had. What kind of sequence is this? Okay, so she had 50 party favors. So right here, she had 50 of these. Now each time somebody comes to the party, arrives, they get 3 of them. So that 50, when you subtract it by 3, goes down to 47. When you subtract this by 3, it goes down to 44, 41, and then so forth. So what she's doing is each time a guest arrives, they get 3 of them, so we're taking away 3 from our total there. This would be an example of arithmetic, because arithmetic is a form of addition or subtraction. So the number that she started with was 50. She is definitely subtracting by 3, so we're going to say minus 3. Now, since this is arithmetic, it's not an exponent. So this n minus 1, we're going to finish up with n minus 1. This stays at the same level. So this is not an exponent. It stays at the same level with the 50 and the minus 3. Okay, next one we have h of 1 is negative 5. So h of 1 is a negative 5. So we have a negative 5. That's my first term. I want to find my second term. Then I'm going to find my third term, and that will be my answer. When I look at the problem here, I'm adding by 0.8. So I'm going to say negative 5 plus 1.8. A better way to think of this is like money. So we could say negative 5, so it's negative $5 plus $1.80. So you owe somebody $5, but you give them $1.80. When you do so, you still owe them $3.20. So this is now a negative 320. So we'll take the negative 320 and we'll add $1.80 to this. Well, you owe somebody $3.20. You give them $1.80. When you give them $1.80, that means you still owe them $1.40. So the third term would be $1.40 or negative 1.40, because since you owe them money, it's going to be a negative. So let's put in a negative 1.40.